It's almost 80 degrees and we're hanging out at Belle Isle today.
We're right by the water, so we're just sitting on some rocks and listening to the seagulls. Seagulls.
This week we're going to share with you some of our plans for the van. So we're going to do some filming in there and show you some renderings of our design. I'm Alex.
I'm Kaylee.
And we are Pinter Whitnick.
We're musicians currently living in Detroit, and after spending 2020 stuck in our studio apartment, we've decided to move into our van and travel full-time.
Join us as we get the van ready and take our shenanigans on the road.
What's up?
Nothing, just hanging out.
You look great in there. Here we are inside the back of the van. We're sitting on the original bed that Alex built in here. As you can see, we're both kind of ducking down a bit. I was just saying that I picked a bad day to wear a very tall hairstyle, but that's going to be one of the things that we're changing. In the design, the bed is going to be much lower because that way we can actually like stretch out a little bit and it'll be more comfortable for us to cook, and we'll actually be able to have some more room for both of us to sleep more comfortably.
Right now the bed is like strictly a bed. You can't sit up in it like it's a couch. So the design that we're working on will have the bed be lower to the ground and then have a back cushion as well. So it'll be more like a couch. There's a lot of cars. One of the cool things that we're gonna be able to do is we're gonna have the bed be narrower and, oh geez. Like I said, today is the first almost 80-degree day of the year, and it seems like everybody decided to go to Belle Isle just like we did today.
It's hopping here today.
He could tell. He said he's about to come with something. Yeah. He was like, bro, I ain't trying to fight you.
So one of the cool things in the design is that the bed will actually be smaller, narrower when it's put into couch mode, and then will actually be wider than we were used to before when it's put into bed mode.
We'll also have storage underneath the bed, so that'll be very handy for us to store maybe some clothing or things like that, or our music equipment.
Right now we do have that, but it's not accessible from inside. So we're planning on having some bins that are accessible from under the bed from the inside, as well as the ability to put our gear in from the back too. So the second main part of the design will be the shelving, which will go on this wall here. We have our guitars and music equipment in here right now. We'll have the fridge over here in this area. We'll have our main battery source over here and water in the middle. And then surrounding all that will be the shelving, which will go up to the ceiling and will allow us to store some canned foods and that kind of thing.
The stove will be stationed right here, so there'll be a fold-down table with the stove, so we'll be able to pop that open. And then with the door being open, that will give us nice ventilation, so we can just have a nice little cooking area right here.
So there's a few different ways that you could run electricity back to the back of a van. Many people will build a custom setup with a battery bank and inverters and maybe solar on the roof, and that can be much cheaper if you are building a large amount of battery capacity, but it also requires a lot of technical know-how. And so the route that we've decided to go is to go with an all-in-one unit, which will be able to supply us power, also has the inverter, can recharge from the alternator. It's a pretty easy way to do it, and it doesn't require a lot of wiring or that kind of thing. We'll also be able to power our fridge and lighting inside. One of the most difficult things we've found when traveling in a van is having a consistent water source, and it gets to be a pain to fill up a tank if you're at a gas station, or if you've got a water bottle and you've always got to go in and find a water fountain or something. So we have a kind of interesting workaround that we haven't really seen other people do, and we hope it works. We're going to use those 5-gallon water cooler tanks. We purchased a $15 water pump from Amazon that has a hose that goes down to the bottom of the tank, and it's rechargeable, and you can refill your water bottle, you can fill up a kettle, you can do dishes with that filtered water, and then just get it refilled at a grocery store instead of having to try to find a place to fill up your water.
Right up here, we'll be cutting a hole very soon into the ceiling of the van, so that way we can install a fan, because when we took a trip to New York, it was so hot. It was in the summer, and for both of us sleeping right here with barely any windows cracked. It was just miserable. So having this fan installed up here in the roof is going to be a game changer. We're really excited about that.
So one important thing about the build that we had to keep in mind was that we wanted it to be a workspace for us to be able to work on video editing or music things on our laptops, and then also to be able to play music. So we need to be able to keep our instruments in here, and then we'll hopefully be able to practice inside of here sometimes if it's too cold to be outside. So both of those things are important. So we brought our guitars, we've got some music that we need to work on, and we're gonna give that a shot.
Yes, I am home. Home is when I'm alone with you. Shenanigans, I long to hear the way I'm bound away across the wide
From now, we'll all be gone. All our friends will move away.
For long-term care facility in South Texas, the federal government said migrant homes will be moved to a second emergency shelter in Carrizo Springs. The new facility is